Good evening, Spinthusiasts. Hello.
Hey.
It's nice to see you guys. I'm here with Ashley. Over on this side, I'm getting used to this being backwards now.
Oh, wait. Oh, no.
See what I mean? It's weird.
That makes sense, though. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad you could be here tonight, Ashley. This is exciting because we get to talk about being expecting and
Yeah.
teaching and everything else that goes along with it.
Yeah. I think I don't know that I've ever heard anybody in the color guard world talk about what it's like to teach while you're pregnant, but considering so many participants within color guard are female and then end up teaching, that's pretty relevant.
Yeah, exactly. Like seriously, I think just in my first 3 or 4 years of doing color guard, I had 4 or 5 pregnant instructors.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was kind of ridiculous because seriously, my first instructor in high school was pregnant when I very first joined. And we actually, okay, this is a funny story. We had this exchange toss. We had to throw our flags to each other over the band. And we were practicing this one day, and my partner threw her flag, and our instructor was walking and didn't realize we were practicing this throwing to each other.
No.
And she I dove for it to try to get it before it got to her, and it hit her right in the belly, and she was just
oh God.
And then she went into labor that night. It's oh shoot. She was okay. Everything turned out okay.
Labor. That is
nuts. Flag-induced labor.
Man, I hit my belly on the door handle this morning or last night. And it did not feel good. So I mean, it's not as hard as a flag hitting you, but it's mostly I just worry about the baby,
Yeah.
I can take a hit, but was my baby okay?
I've been starting to bump into things a little bit lately too, and I'm just wait a minute. Wait. Am I too close to that door? Am I too close to that desk?
Do you ever you know how sometimes you try to suck everything in when you're going through a tight space? Do you do that a lot now that you're pregnant because you're trying to do that? Because I catch myself doing that a lot.
Yeah, and I can't. I'll try to, and I'll be
yeah.
It doesn't suck in.
Yeah, I'm I'm just contracting my stomach muscle. This isn't really doing much. But it feels like I'm compacting a little bit.
Nikki says, Nikki's here, and she says it will get worse. You will get pregnant clumsy. That I feel like that happened to me before I was pregnant though. I would just be clumsy.
I feel I don't know. This is my second time being pregnant, and I was actually 2 years ago in 2019 going into 2020 2020. That was my first pregnancy, and I did the whole band camp thing while pregnant, and that was interesting. I was still on the floor doing whatever I could. I don't know if I experienced clumsiness as much as I did just kind of the spatial thing and tight, smaller spaces where I easily just breezed through before. They were not so easy. Yeah.
So you were teaching for your first pregnancy too. You were teaching while you were doing that.
Yeah, I was pregnant. I gave birth in September of 2019.
Oh, wait, what day? Because my due date is in September.
The 17th.
Oh my God, my due date is the 19th.
Oh my God, stop it. Virgo baby.
Yes, definitely a Virgo baby.
Oh, what are you, Jackie? What's your sign?
I am a Leo.
Okay. Can you guess what I am?
August. I don't really know enough about the signs. I bet if Sydney were here, she could guess. She'd be like,
where's Sydney?
I know exactly what you are.
Is she watching?
I hopefully let's see. Don't tell, and I'll text her and see if she'll get on the live and come.
See if she can figure it out by the end or at some point. And watch, we're gonna forget. We're gonna have pregnancy brain and completely forget to circle back to this. But Um, okay, I was trying to remember when your birthday was, but yeah, wow, that's like your birthday's it was almost a whole year ago.
Yep, I'm gonna be old when I have my baby. This is
That's
like not. It's funny
impressive.
because it's not something that like I ever thought about with like you make your 10-year plan when you're in high school or whatever, and you're like, oh, by the
Yes.
I'm let's see, you're like 18, so you're like, by the time I'm 28, I'll have my incredible career and I'll have my house and I'll have my car and my millions of dollars and all this stuff, and we have a lot of ambitions for just 10 years.
Yeah.
And I figured I'd have like 2 or 3 kids, and
Hmm.
I am I am way beyond that. I'll be 35 in August,
That is
and this is
not
my first
old,
baby.
Jackie.
For the first baby, I feel like it is.
But I think in this day and age, people are having babies later. So I feel like that's pretty normal. I'm 30 and I just had my first one. Well, I was 29 when I
Yeah.
had her. But being old is subjective. Do you feel quote unquote old? I do when I talk to my high school kids, I will admit.
Sometimes, like especially if I talk to my younger high school kids, because like the newer ones coming up, a lot like some of the lingo has changed. I'm not quite as cool as I used to
Yeah,
be
all
to
the
them.
weird TikTok moves that they do. I'm like, are you having a seizure over there? What are you doing?
Exactly. Yeah, it's like, are you okay?
And it
Is that fine?
really throws me through a loop. Oh no, I'm getting a pop-up. Um, one sec. I gotta X this guy out. Gosh.
Becky says
What?
she feels young around me. Not now, Becky. I don't want to say Becky could be my mom because she couldn't. I don't think she's that much older than me. But
Becky's profile picture looks great.
yes, she does. Becky is incredible. She comes to my Zumba class 4 nights a week. She
Oh,
comes to
hey.
every Zumba class and she kills it. I tell you what.
I love that you teach Zumba.
Yes, that helps so much. So
Mm-hmm.
how active were you before you got pregnant versus once you were actually pregnant? Like when did you ever like start bringing it back down and like settling down per se?
Honestly, if I'm going to be very transparent, my level of active is just chasing around a toddler, up and down, picking up toys. I'm up and down a lot. Um, but as far as like cardio or weights, I mean, the heaviest thing I probably pick up is my kid, and she's not very heavy. So pre and during pregnancy, it's been the same. But when I was pregnant with Zoe, I took not a prenatal, it was a yoga class that I took
Ooh.
for fun. So that was like my exercise that I did. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out this time because I haven't been, I mean, I try to be active, and I try not to be too, what is a word? Stagnant? It's not stagnant. It's when you
Mhm.
like sit down too much. I can't think of the word.
Sessile. That would be the biology word
It
for
is
it, would be
not that.
sessile.
Wow. Big old SAT word. I've never even heard of that. No, it's sedentary, Jackie. That's what it
There we
was.
go. Sedentary.
What
Yes.
did you say? Sessile?
Sessile. That's like the biological definition of like an animal that
Oh,
can't
of
move.
course. Of course, it was the biological definition. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes
Um,
that's the only words that come to my brain though.
I mean, that's good. It just means you know what you're talking about. So anyway, to answer your question, not much has changed. Yeah, what about you?
I
I mean,
Well,
you've been
that's kind
doing
of what
Zumba.
they told me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I actually okay. I've been bad. Like school, like I had this idea that I was going to stay on this yoga track. I got really into yoga um, whenever we were quarantined and all that. My husband got into yoga with me. Shh, don't tell anyone. He doesn't want anyone to
Oh,
know.
cute.
It was great though. Like we seriously got in such great shape and it was so fantastic for both of us. And I had this idea. I was like, okay, I'm going to do yoga. Like I'm going to just make it a part of my life and make it a part of my daily life through school and everything. And like school caught up to me
Mm-hmm. As it does.
and it really, yeah, it just kind of like yoga was the first thing to go because I wasn't going to give up Zumba. You know, I don't want to let all of all the people who come to my Zumba classes down.
Your Zoom
And so,
buddies.
yeah, my Zoom buddies. Oh,
Your
I love
Zoom
it.
daddies.
Yes.
Your Zoom daddies. I like that one better.
Yes. But
So
yeah, so I
funny.
didn't want to give that up. So yoga was like, okay, that's the easiest thing to let go of. And so it didn't stick with my yoga. I do have a prenatal yoga app. Specifically, it's supposed to like avoid the bad poses that are, but I don't know. I haven't messed with it and I've just been way too busy with school.
Yeah, I understand. This pregnancy is so different. I like my first pregnancy, I was so aware of what was to come, between getting my house ready and getting my life ready and doing all the things, the yoga, the reading all the books, listening to all the podcasts. And then now that that was not too long ago that I gave birth. So this time around, I feel like I keep forgetting, oh crap, like my due date's coming up. I gotta get this house ready. Like,
when is your due date?
it's at the end of June.
Ooh.
Okay. So she's creeping up. So the band camp will be my maternity leave, whereas marching band season, the last time around, was my maternity leave. So I'm grateful that I'll be able to come back and only miss band camp. Hopefully, I mean, I don't, so that'll be good. I think it'll be easier to find a sub for band camp as opposed to marching band
probably
season. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, we have another June due date here in the chat.
Oh,
Stephanie
hey.
says, me too, end of June. Yay, congratulations.
Congrats. That's awesome. Yay.
And Jordan says we both look gorgeous.
Thank you, Jordan.
Because we're keeping in shape. We're keeping in shape.
It's the glow of this bright light.
It's not the pregnant lady glow. That's not what that is.
I guess it is.
We could say that anyways.
Yeah.
Sydney is on it, by the way. She's like texting me her thoughts and the
Ooh,
thoughts that she's thinking.
I love this. I can't wait.
What your sign might be.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how close, if she's gonna get it.
She's really into that stuff. It's kind of funny because I don't even like know in previous, like, she's been with us for like 3 years now, and I don't even know that in previous years I heard everybody's signs, and she knows what everybody's signs are and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh no, did I freeze?
Just for a little bit, but then you came back and
Okay, good.
I'm back. Yeah, so when I was teaching in the classroom, I used to do that a lot with my students. I would be like, when's your birthday? When's your birthday? When's your birthday? Especially with my kids who are on the dance team. Just so I know, just so that when something comes up, I kind of know how to navigate it because I understand how your sign tends to be.
Right.
It's helpful, but I also try and just take it with a grain of salt because even though, even if your sun sign, for example, Jackie, you're a Leo, Leos come in so many different forms, so yes.
Yeah.
So, it really just kind of depends on all of the other aspects of your chart too, like your moon sign, your rising sign, all of the different planets in all of the other houses. It gets pretty in depth.
Okay, are you ready for the first idea? Getting strong earth sign vibes, she says.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I will take that as a huge compliment because I love being an earth sign. I tend to be the more logical person in the group.
Logic? What's that?
Spoken like a true Leo. I'm just kidding.
You mean you don't just like tear into things and just see what happens?
I don't know.
Becky would like to know where you live. You're in Indiana, right?
No.
Why did I think Indiana? I'm crazy. Ohio.
I don't know. No, no.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm way
I
off.
live in
I'm
Texas.
sorry. What? You literally just said that to me earlier too.
Okay. I live in
We're in the
Texas.
same time zone.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I
are you
live
ready?
in
She says,
the
here's the
it's
guess. It's
either
either Virgo or
wow.
Capricorn.
Okay. Well,
Is one of those right?
yeah, it's one of those. I mean, both of them are earth signs. Yeah. I'm interested to see.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm getting called out too. Nikki says, "Oh, you were way off." I know, I was way off. I'm so sorry.
that's okay. That is okay. So, tell me about what your what your plans are for the after you have birth. You're not going back to work, right?
Well, I'm not going back to my full-time job at the high school.
That's what
So
I
I have
thought.
like
Mhm.
18 jobs.
You
Yeah.
do. It's
Yeah.
true.
So I'm, oh, Jordan says I can blame it on the pregnancy brain. So,
Yeah, yeah, you absolutely can. And then mom
okay.
brain, which sticks around with you
Yes.
forever. So,
Perfect. Perfect. So yeah, so I'm not going back to school. I'm not going back to the high school anyways. I'm taking a semester off from teaching my college classes. And so my hope is that I'll pick back up in the spring with my college classes and kind of go into get back into the swing of things from there, and we'll just kind of see. I really would like some time to be mom. Everyone keeps telling me,
yeah.
they're like, oh, you're never going to have those years back, you want to have that as much as you can. And so I'm basically I basically want to have that experience as much as possible, but at the same time, I've never this is the weirdest part for me. Since I graduated high school, I've never been in a position where I was not my own moneymaker for
Mhm.
like paying my own bills. And
Yeah.
like my husband can support us. We're not going to be living lavishly by any means, uh but yeah, I don't think I can just not be working at all.
Mhm. Mhm.
So that's going to be strange for me. And yeah.
But it'll be so
uh
great because you'll be able to focus so much more on the spintronics thing, and I know that that's kind of what you want to do anyway. So it's a blessing in
yes, true.
disguise. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Oh,
I love being at home.
we have a lot of people chiming in about mom brain. My kids are 16 and 10, and I still use mom brain, use it forever. My son
Oh
is
yeah,
24 and I still use mom brain.
I'm going to use it for the rest of my
Love
life.
it.
So
Well, this sounds like a great plan for me.
yeah, it's always like a little safety net for when you don't always have to be 100% on. That's like a cheat code.
The mom cheat code.
Mhm. Mhm.
So gender reveal ideas. Have you done a gender reveal?
Yeah, so when I was pregnant with Zoe, we went to Disney World on our baby moon, and we had the results in an envelope, and we went and got our caricatures drawn, and we had the artist like draw like us holding a baby blank. And so
Aw.
and then we took a picture of that and posted it, and that was like our gender reveal. And then this time around, I think I did cake pops. So it was just like close family, like immediate family that came over, and my sister helped me bake these cake pops, and we just mixed like blue into the batter, and then everyone bit into it and like, oh, okay. It was like a fun little low key middle of the week type of deal. But what about you?
I've been thinking, because I haven't actually revealed the gender to our followers yet on Spintronics at all.
Oh,
Um,
good to know because maybe I would have accidentally said something.
oh yeah, don't say anything. But like my close family, my family knows, my students know, and like so everybody who kind of interacts with me on a day-to-day basis knows. But my thought is I kind of want to make a TikTok video for the reveal for our following,
Yeah.
and have a flag over another flag. You know how they do that, like where you have like a flag with a really big sleeve and you slide it off and there's another flag
Oh,
underneath.
yeah. Yes.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I actually have a flag set up and ready to go and do that. It's just I haven't had a chance to make any TikToks. If you notice, my TikTok has just been nothing but reaction videos for the last, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just haven't had time to make TikTok videos. And then tomorrow it's supposed to be tomorrow would be my first time I have a chance, and it's going to be pouring down rain all day. So it might be a bit before I can actually do anything.
Not optimal for flag tossing.
That definitely
is a cool idea.
Nicholas says he's going to find a baby rifle for the little one. Designs by King. I'm going to plug Designs by King for this, because Designs by King makes mini rifles and they're so stinking cute. And if you tell them in your order that Spintronics sent you, then that helps our guard out, because we get credit with them.
Affiliate link kind of thing.
Yes. Nice. Kind of like an affiliate link. It's great.
That's awesome.
So what are some things, I know you mentioned earlier, like, so you were having to teach, I don't know if we talked about this on the show or if we were just talking about this beforehand. You were saying you had to do band camp pregnant the first time around. Mm-hmm. What are some of the differences in teaching band camp that you took advantage of?
Sitting in a chair, leaving every 15 to 20 minutes because you have to go tinkle. Sitting in the shade in said chair. Having a child, or I keep calling them children, having a student roll out the chair for you and then bringing it back in for you. And it actually kind of works out for them in my case, because they put the cooler on the chair and then it helped them. So that's definitely something that I took advantage of, but it's just necessary, especially being as hot as it gets in Texas and pregnant. I made every amenity for myself possible. And there was actually this one time that I didn't, this is the only time I did it, but I climbed up on top of the tower so I could see everything. And everyone was like, which rightfully so, you shouldn't be doing that. But I did it. But yeah.
I can't even imagine, because they yell at me for stepping up on a step ladder right now. They're like, no, you can't do that. You're pregnant. I'm like, it is literally 2 feet off the ground. It's fine.
Yeah. I climbed up an entire marching band tower.
You're crazy.
I am crazy.
That's all there is to it. So,
well, not smart.
Sydney has a final guess.
Oh, yes. Oh.
She says you're a Virgo.
No. I'm a Capricorn.
Oh.
So close,
She's
Sydney.
a Capricorn.
So close.
So close.
I think what throws it off, though, is that my moon sign is in Gemini. So it makes me more friendly than a normal Capricorn, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. But that was so close. Good job. That's awesome. Is Sydney the one that used to have the short hair? Or is that somebody else?
I don't think she had short hair. That you might be thinking of Sam. Sam had short hair.
Yeah,
I had Sydney was an age out this year, and she was like the soloist in the show, and she's an age out. And I had her on a few weeks ago. She did a live and kind of talked about what it was like, because she actually was an age out last year, and then got to come back this year because of COVID and age out again. So,
well, they extended the deadline. Is she going to take it?
Well, there's some other crazy things going on at Spintronics that are kind of making that deadline not an issue for us.
Oh,
in a good way.
Okay.
In a good way. So
I can't wait.
I can't make any official announcements here at the moment, but if people have been following us on Instagram, they've probably seen a few hints here and there and some like pointing to another Instagram account to go watch. So
Oh.
it's
Ooh.
so if you've
That's
seen that, you kind of know what I'm talking about. It's
okay.
it's interesting.
Very cool. Very cool.
So when I make my plan for going to band camp, because I am planning on going to band camp, and I am going to band camp in I think it's like the first or second week of August. I think it's the first week of August. And my due date is basically the middle of September. So I am kind of like, well, what do I need to do different? So basically I need to I'll probably bring a folding chair, just thinking about like where we have band camp versus where all the chairs are located. Probably being one of those like comfy, like sporting events chairs. I have a few of those.
And that way you could like carry it on your shoulder.
Yeah.
That's a cool idea.
So I need that. And then we have some advice to drink lots of water.
Of course.
From Jordan.
Of course.
And I have a new product for that too.
Hey, it looks good. Isn't that pretty? It looks so good.
It's fancy. It's just as good. And it honestly, it actually keeps my hot drinks too hot. So it should be perfect for throwing ice in the summer.
I love those things.
Yeah. And these ones, so we have them on the Spintronics website now. I'm just plugging things all night. That's all I'm gonna do. Yeah. So we have them on the Spintronics website now. And like I said, like I was I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of expecting it to be kind of like a cheap one that just does it, like you touch it and you can feel how hot it is, but you can't. Like you cannot feel the temperature at all from the outside.
Nice.
So it's like, that's a good one. And then like I'll bring my tea to school in it in the morning. And normally like with my crummy one I have, it would be like drinkable by first hour, but this was not drinkable until like fourth hour. So I was like, oh, maybe I should leave the lid off. Yeah, it kept it real hot.
Gotta lay off on how hot you make it then. I can't wait 4 hours to be drinking my drink. I need it right away. Oh man.
No kidding. Okay, and then Nikki has some, and I don't know if this is like maybe a personal question for you. Nikki says, pay attention to after the baby is born for potential postpartum. I had it with my son. I caution everyone on it now. Did you experience any of this whenever you had your first baby?
No, but I'm always very self-aware, and I have really great support system. And I feel like I've gone through a depression before, but if that were to happen, I feel like I'm like well equipped to take care of it. I'm pretty headstrong. But yeah, absolutely. And thank you thanks for looking out. That's really sweet of you.
Absolutely. I always like worry. I do deal with seasonal depression from time to time. And so even with having like a support system and having a job to go to every day and having like all of this stuff that they say and like having things that make you happy and what have you, it's still, you can just kind of feel it creeping in on the edges. And it's like, okay, what do I do to like get rid of this?
I wonder I know for postpartum, it's like your hormones shifting around, but for seasonal depression, I wonder, do you know like what like triggers it or what it comes from?
I think it's the loss of sunlight for me. Cause like usually I'm one person who like, I throw all the curtains open first thing in the morning. I'm up with the sun.
Yeah.
And then I will be like outside as much as I possibly can. I was a farm girl. I can't help that.
Yeah.
And I think like with like the seasonal, it's like I'm in a classroom all day. I have one tiny little window in my, and I put my desk like right next to the window.
Yeah.
And so like once it starts getting to be like less daylight hours and stuff like that, I think I don't get that same amount of.
That makes sense.
I think that's what it is for me because I never experienced it until I became a teacher.
And that makes sense because and you've had the same classroom this whole time?
This is my second, this is the second high school I've taught at, but basically my previous high school was the same sort of situation. I was in a very small, very dark room. The previous teacher there was 3 windows in the room. They were all small, but like he painted over them.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. I don't know. But so I moved my desk right by one of the windows and like scraped that window. just because I was like, I can't deal with this. I can't
Yeah.
be in a closed in room all day.
I
So
need sunlight. What a weirdo.
it was very strange.
What a weirdo.
Very
Huh.
strange.
Well, hopefully, knowing that that is probably your seasonal trigger, then, you know exactly what you need to do, especially because you'll be able to do that. I'm so excited that you get to be at home.
Yes,
I'm
me
so
too.
excited.
For sure. Oh, Nikki also has said to bring an umbrella. Good. Yes, I have a
Oh,
huge umbrella.
yeah. I totally forgot about that.
For sure.
I didn't use it a ton though, because I had this giant like hat, like a
Ooh,
big old
yes.
like gardening mom hat.
I love those.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to Walmart or Dollar General or something and just buy a whole bunch of them in all different colors.
And
Get a
I
bunch of
didn't
big
care
dollar
if I looked
garden hats.
silly. I was like, whatever. I'm
I
gonna be
love those
brave.
so much. I will use every excuse.
And I found so for last year, I stocked up on some cool, um, like Bandcamp things, like a lot of those as seen on TV products. I got the little towel that you can keep around your neck that
Ooh.
stays kind of wet and it keeps you cool. I got this cool like reflecting fisherman looking hat with a really wide brim. Are you taking notes?
I'm gonna take notes.
I didn't get to really use it though because Bandcamp was not really like the way that it normally was, it usually is this past year. But
Yeah.
I still have it. But it's really cool. Like it had this you could wet it and it like the material would keep your head cold. There was reflective material. It's a really goofy looking hat, but I'm not the type of person who really cares as long as I am comfortable.
Yes.
Like I have my moments where I'm like, oh no, I really need to look cute for this. But Bandcamp is not the time for that.
Absolutely not. I absolutely like when the Bandcamp pictures come out, like, we have like student leaders who run around and take pictures of each section rehearsing and stuff. When the Bandcamp pictures come out, I'm like, please don't let me be in any of them because I'm wearing like shorts that I like march drum corps in that are not, they don't fit me
Wow.
anymore. And I'm like, ugh. And it's like my body is not what it used to be. And
How
we're just gonna leave it at
crazy.
that.
Man, I got rid of those a long time ago. That's amazing.
I do take really good care of my clothes. Like they're in good shape, but
Yeah.
like I don't take as good of care of my body as I probably should. And so I'm not quite there anymore. Stephanie wants Stephanie wants to know, Ashley, will you be teaching August band camp or attending band camp?
Nope, I'm gonna have a sub because I will be right in the thick of my postpartum recovery since my due date is at the end of June. So July, August, nope.
That's the next thing I wanted to ask you. How long would you say for postpartum recovery? Because here's my issue. So I'm due in like mid-September. Thanksgiving is the end of November. And I don't know if you know, but I kind of do this cool thing where I go to the Macy's parade.
You'll be able
I'm
to
kind of
go.
like, you think
You'll
so?
be able to go. Yeah. And well, I mean, as long as you you're because usually it's 6 weeks to recover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you'll be fine.
Oh yeah. Okay. I should be out of, that's at least 8 weeks, if not more.
Yeah, no, let's see. September, October, November. Yeah, no, you'll be good. You'll be good.
Okay. Totally. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel
Oh, yeah, I
so
missed
much
that for
better.
the second year in a row. No, third.
No,
Third.
no second. This would be, yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Sorry.
Because I went in
I get my dates
2019.
mixed up.
But yeah, we'd have to miss it. Like, oh, that's depression. Having to watch the Macy's parade on TV from home when you've been like in the Macy's parade for the last 10 years. That's depression.
That's pretty cool that you've done that. So what all does it entail?
So I actually, like, my actual like job, I came on first as a chaperone, and so I have like a group of performers I'm in charge of, like keeping track of them and making sure they have all their meal tickets and their tickets for like shows and different stuff that we do. And then like but like my job for them is that I do uniform alterations. So
Mm,
basically, like when we get there, the very first thing that the performers do after they check in is they go to the uniform room and they try on their costume. And so with I mean, they use the same uniforms every year, so we just kind of have to make them the right length, and sometimes they're like too wide, and we have to like uh, hem them
okay.
down or like
Mhm.
or whatever. So anyway, yes, my brain just went
Okay.
into Macy's mode. Like, what am I doing now? But yeah, so like I do a lot of the uniform alterations, and then throughout the week, kind of if there's sewing emergencies, which there's a lot more of those than you would realize.
That
I
makes
do a
sense.
lot of those too.
There's a lot of people that have to wear a
Mhm.
costume slash uniform, so it makes sense.
And you get things like flags get stepped on, or there was one year where they had these little wristlet things for the dancers, and they were like not working properly, and so I had to go through and like build these loops into the
Oh
dancers to hold onto
wow.
their finger. And
Hmm.
so like that was like, okay, well, we have to get this done before the parade, and today is like Monday, so it was like I had to go through and do all
Yeah,
that. So it was like it's really fun. I love doing it because I love sewing so much. And but yeah, that's what I do. And then I go walk in the parade with them. So it's
the cherry
it's a
on
good
top of
time.
it all.
Yes.
That is so cool. That is so cool.
Yeah. Are you so oh, okay. So Jordan asked, I'm not sure if Jordan's asking me or if he's asking you specifically, since you were just talking about it though. Are you going to have your captains do any teaching of your color guard? So I know you do a lot of leadership training with your students too. Do your captains get to teach?
Yes. I set up everything so that I can, the goal for me is at the end of the day, I want to be able to do as little as possible so that the students can really take ownership of their program. So that means teaching them really detailed, specific what goes into technique so that they can then go around and take care of that. That way I can focus more on the creative component of color guard. I don't ask them to write the show or anything like that, but definitely band camp, we're doing lots of skills. That way, during that portion of band camp when they're teaching how to march and how to do all the jazz walking and the dance and the choreography or the technique, I can rely on my leadership to do that so that I can spend my energy doing creating, pumping out choreography and um, putting my energy into that. Yeah.
I
What about
like
you?
that. I like
What
that
about you?
a lot. I think so at band camp this year, I have the guard that I teach has an instructor this year. They actually just got an instructor last year who's there with them all the time. And so I am uh probably gonna rely on her a lot for that teaching of the technique. And then there's like we have an indoor space too that we get to use for part of band camp, just because like in the afternoons, like right after lunch in the hottest part of the day, it's
Mhm.
really too hot to be outside. And so what we'll do is we'll practice indoors, and so we'll go up on the stage, and it's a really big stage so they can get up there and dance and do whatever. And so what'll probably happen is I'll have the instructor like doing all their basics and getting them through all their warm-ups and such in the heat, and then I'll be like working on the choreography and just focusing on that part of it too. That's kind of like what you're saying is kind of like where the way I was leaning anyways, but like you saying that really confirms it for me. Like that's a good plan because I'm going to be very large in August.
Yeah, and tired, your body's literally using all of its energy to create another human being.
Yeah.
So anything you can do to conserve and be efficient is definitely the way to go. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to be there. So whoever my sub is, it's just kind of that, what that might look like. And that's still kind of a not locked in yet. There's some moving pieces to that situation and what the fall is going to look like. So I'll update everybody once everything gets locked into place.
There you go.
Yeah.
as far as like Winter Guard, um, we're going to be having a really interesting time. We have some new people coming in for our Winter Guard this coming year. My hope is that I can kind of take a step back from doing the basics training, and our some of our alumni and some of our veterans are going to be coming in and taking over
Good.
that stuff.
Yeah, they should.
Because that starts in September too.
Wow. Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
going to be doing our clinics, and I've talked to my staff. I've been like, okay, look, do we need to put clinics off for a month? Like, what do we need to do? And like, they really like these guys. I almost said these kids, but I'm like, they're not kids. They're like
They're
mid-20s adults.
Yeah.
They're full-fledged. And like they really want us to be competitive, and they want the students, the performers, to be able to put their best foot forward too. So I've been like, well, do we want to push the clinics back until I'm back from, my postpartum recovery? And they were like, nope, we're going to do clinics, and we'll do the training, and between the staff that we have on site and the alumni and vets, like, they're going to make it happen. So I was like, okay,
Love
cool.
it. Love it. Good.
Make it happen.
Yes, I love that, because then all the energy and the passion and the dedication is there. And it's nice to just be able to have a setup where you can leave it all, like walk away from it, and everything is not going to crash and burn. That's ideal.
Yes.
I think even if you're a band director or a dance, like a drill team director, that's ideal, because it's a lot to do that job. So anywhere you can delegate and have other people do it for you, so you can take care of the most important components of your job, whatever that might be, then, work smarter, not harder.
Which a lot of our stuff, as far as Spintronics goes, is like our management of our online stuff, all of our not-for-profit organization stuff, like all of that sort of stuff is like what I really should be focusing on. And then, as far as like everybody knows their techniques, that as far as, those who've been coming for year after year, it's like they can handle that. So I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna let it happen. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Just sit back and trust. Yes.
Are we doing our summer camp this year? Okay. So this was really sad. I made the announcement, oh gosh, back in March, I think. I don't want to be too sad, but I am kind of sad because we were going to do our summer camp, and basically the location where we have our summer camp is not allowed to have summer camps. And so we've been kind of looking all over the state and seeing if there's other options, and there's really, really not. So, we're going to be doing a virtual camp, kind of like we did last year. So
normally for your summer camp, is it like a sleepaway type of camp or like a commuter camp?
Yeah, it's a sleepaway camp. So
cool.
it's at a college campus. And so like these people come from all over the country. I mean, they fly in, they like drive in. Sometimes like families come. It's crazy. And so they'll come in on like a Monday or a Tuesday, and then they'll be there through Friday or Saturday, and just learning from these incredible instructors who come from all over the country. Like we've had some like Instagram famous instructors like coming in. Like GB Cool was one of our instructors a couple of years ago.
Nice.
And he did a really awesome rifle class. And then that he was just an amazing person to meet too. And then like Hawken, who last year when we did the virtual camp, his virtual class sold out. But he was also a DCI world champion color guard soloist back when me and I marched. So it's like all these cool like people that get to come in, and it's just neat to get to connect these performers with these instructors who they look up to and such. So I've missed that so much. So we're planning in 2022. That's what we're shooting for.
Good luck. It should happen by then. Thanks. I mean, I would be surprised if it didn't. If they wouldn't allow you in 2022, I'd be very surprised.
I was surprised that they're not allowing it this summer. Like, it just seems like it should be okay. But honestly, it's probably really good timing as far as like me being pregnant.
Yeah.
I lose a lot of sleep during summer camp.
Exactly. And that's kind of like the last leg of your pregnancy. So you really need to just take it easy, Jackie. Take it easy.
I have my last clinic. I mean, band camp is August, but my last clinic is scheduled for early July. So I
Yeah, that's
haven't had
perfect.
anybody's schedule after that. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to start chilling out at that point.
That's perfect. Yeah. Yes.
Let's see. Oh, we have some more options
Hmm.
for things to bring. Mist bottles. Yeah, those little like
Oh,
squirter ones with the fans too would be good.
especially the ones that you can wear around your neck. Ooh.
Ooh, yeah, they like sit up and like blow at your face or
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh my God. I was gifted one of those like beer can hats. You could take something like that and just put like water
Just put
in one
water
and
bottles.
Gatorade in another.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Ooh. Very cool.
That is awesome. Well, let's see. Easter time and it's bedtime. I'm feeling that too. Actually, I was like, man, we're getting close to 45 minutes already. It's like I feel like I haven't gotten to talk to you for so long. It's just like so many different things, but
I
it's been
know.
really awesome to have you. Was there anything else? Any other advice you want to pass on to a first time mom teaching color guard
Oh my
before
man.
we wrap up?
Any advice? Just listen to your body, take care of yourself, and especially afterwards, don't worry so much about jumping back into working out and trying to look the way you looked pre-pregnancy. Give yourself a lot of grace. It takes a lot for your body to produce a human and then to get it out. No, regardless of what route you go, whether it's like C-section or vaginal. um yeah. One really big tip, I don't know if you plan on doing a unmedicated birth or not, but I'm a little bit of a hippie when it comes to that. um, but something that really helped me when I was having contractions with Zoe was imagining like being on a wave. So every time I would start to feel the contraction coming on, I would imagine like riding the wave to the peak of the contraction and then going back down with it. And it really helped me mentally. um, and also like give in to the pain, so don't like resist because that's going to make it hurt even more. So really just
Right.
like surrender to it.
Like relax into it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that helped
So
me
it'll be
so
just like marching drum corps is what it's going to be like.
sort of. This one's a little different. I used to say if I could do drum corps, I could do anything. And then now I say if I can give natural birth, I can do anything.
Oh man. I'm still back and forth. The doctors have been telling me all the options and things, and I'm just like, whew, okay, that sounds like a thing. That
Yeah.
definitely exists.
Yeah.
It's scary, but
But it's
are
scary,
you
but
are
your
you
body
going
can handle it.
are you going natural birth again for
Mm-hmm.
your second one?
Yeah, so I'm delivering with a midwife at a birth center in a bathtub, that whole nine. That was a plan the first time around, but Zoe took forever to come. I had to go to a hospital, but I still had a midwife in a hospital, and it was in
Mm-hmm.
an environment where I could stay as close to my birth goals as possible. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Ina May's like guide to natural birth, regardless of like what direction you go in. There's a lot of really useful information that she talks about in that book because it just kind of like paints a picture of how our society, especially in Western society, America, how we've kind of been brought to think like what comes to mind and how like this culture around what birth looks like when in reality there's this whole other component of it that we don't know about because of what we're we're seeing on TV or in movies. And everyone always talks about their horror stories for whatever reason, but there's so many good birth stories out there. So look for those. don't don't listen to the scary ones. That's not what you want to
Just push
do.
the horror stories aside. Okay, that's they're
Yeah.
usually not typical anyways, right?
I mean, I hope not. I just every time people talk about birth, they always talk about how painful it is. Be like, yes, it's obviously like it doesn't feel good, but there's when you think about it in a way that paints a bigger picture, um, you don't focus so much on the uncomfortable part, you know? Like
Mhm.
your body was built to be able to handle that pain. So you just kind of have to trust that you're going to be fine and not be so scared of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I
remember
will
freaking
try.
out so hard around that last month as my due date was creeping up. I started to get really emotional, really scared. But now that I'm on the other side of it, um, just yeah.
Or you're glad you did it that way.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that I did the research that I did. But
Okay.
you know
Okay.
what? If you end up not feeling anything because you're all drugged up, more power to you. Like that's the beauty of it. It's your choice, you know? So do
I'm
whatever
still
makes
doing a
you
lot
feel
of reading,
comfortable.
so
Yeah.
we'll see.
Do whatever makes you
We'll
feel
see.
comfortable.
I never felt like strongly one way or another before getting pregnant, and so, I've heard good and bad things from both sides, so I'm just kind of
Mhm.
like I just gotta basically learn as much as I can and decide from there. So, and
Yeah.
I hope people are understanding and supportive of that too, because I know there is a lot of stigma around it in our society. And
Mhm. Mhm. And there doesn't need to be, you know. At the end of the day, as long as you and your baby both come out of it healthy and fine, that is all that matters.
awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ashley. It's been awesome having you. And I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna cut the live. And guys, thanks for coming to watch. So we'll see you all later.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.